and then I would count us in, and then we're good. Literally just went over this.
I paused and started talking. And then you talked.
But we just went over how it was going to work.
You talked over me.
Okay.
But I was supposed to be the one to talk, so you talked over me.
Yeah. All right, ready, set, go.
Well, I mean, we're already live, so there's no going anymore.
Yeah, ready, set, go.
Okay, Dad, now you.
All right. Everything before this is going to be cut out of the recorded show.
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And just shut your mouth and let me do the intro like I do.
Are you going to mention the Q&A? Because that's not normally how you do the intro.
He wasn't listening when we had that discussion earlier.
You're still thinking about
all right, ready, set, and 3, 2, 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday's episode of Student of the Gun Radio. And if you're just listening to this on your favorite podcast player, that's great. That's fantastic. However, you should know that when we record these, we record them and we do it live. We do it live on Discord, and we do it live on our official Student of the Gun Facebook. So if you would like to watch the show as it transpires, as it unfolds, you can do that. Not only can you watch it later, but you can watch it live. And if you're watching it live, you have the opportunity, we will grant you the opportunity to jump into the comments and ask a question. And Jared and Zachary will monitor those questions. And if we feel that it is worthy of note and that other people will benefit from it, then we will answer your question live during the show. That is how that works. All right, that is the public service announcement, and now Zach's going to play the intro music, and then we'll get into it.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stuff going on right now, a tremendous amount, and we're working essentially nonstop to provide information, education, enlightenment, encouragement, all of that stuff for you guys. And if you have not availed yourself to it yet, what you should do is you should check out the very first PFT dedicated video. We've got a Patriot Fire Team leadership video. It's about leadership, and it's about some of the gear or equipment that a leader would use. And you're like, yeah, guns and ammo, right? No, it's not really about, the first video is not about guns and ammo. It's actually about things that most people will overlook because they're so focused on guns and ammo that they forget other stuff. So the first Patriot Fire Team video, it's up, it's public, it's available to the entire world. Yes, the entire world can view it. But as I've mentioned about 17 times before, the follow-up videos, the detailed follow-up videos that get into specifics about the Patriot Fire Team setup, about the responsibilities of each member of the Patriot Fire Team, the primary weapons and equipment that each member will use, those will be available to the grad program. And if you want to get into the grad program, Jared has made it super, super ridiculously easy for you right now. Jared, tell them how ridiculously easy you've made it for them.
It's super ridiculously easy. You just go to Get SOTG, follow the instructions. There are 3 different levels that you can pick from. Most people do they pay $1, they try it out for 30 days, and then if they don't like it, they just don't continue. And most people, fortunately, most people like it, and they realize the value of what we've done here. And we've created an internal community that is not dependent upon Facebook or Google or anything like that. Now, obviously, we do distribute the videos and the content via the public stuff via YouTube and Facebook, but all of the private grad program stuff is hosted inside of the student lounge. And that's how you get access to that. Just go to getsotg.com, spend $1, and
that's right.
It's worth it. It's worth $1.
Well,
ask me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the benefits of being in the grad program, besides having access to the student lounge, which we own and control, so YouTube can't wake up tomorrow and decide, we don't like that. You violated our community standards. No, we own it.
No. You violated our
Yeah.
community.
Oh yeah. Our community standards. Well, what are
Be
they?
a little bit more specific.
Our community standards. Yeah. Little JP Sears there. If you guys didn't listen to the grad program, that was last Thursday.
I think it was last Friday, but yeah,
Or Friday. It was Thursday or Friday when we had JP Sears on, and he explained exactly what it's like to get shut down by YouTube and how that works and why it works. But they cannot shut down our grad program. They can't do it. Now, if you are a Facebooker, that is cool because you will have access to the private group, the Liberty Mastermind group on Facebook, and you can commune with like-minded individuals at your leisure. Yes, indeed. And of course, you get all the other good stuff. So the bottom line is go to getsotg.com, sign up, you get all the good stuff, and you drive on, and you have a good day. There you go. All right. What else are we going to talk about? Let's see. Well, we have a SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week question, and it's not necessarily a gun question, but it is a Warrior of the Week question. So we're going to play it. Is this a call-in or is it a write-in?
It is a write-in, and I will read out for us after we play the music.
All right.
And before I read it, Jared, do you want to remind the winner of what they need to do?
Yep. If you hear your question read, or if you hear your voice here on the show, then you need to email info@studentofthegun.com. Send us your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email typed into the body so we can get you your free bottle of 9mm plus P shipped off to you.
Yes. And please understand that SWAT Fuel is still trying to recover from the punishment they received from our government because, well, of the fake pandemic. And they're like a lot of businesses, they're just trying to recover after they were punished and shut down by the governor of the state. I'm not going to say which state. And actually it wasn't California, it was another one. But so support those guys. They're trying their absolute best. You know what I saw, Jared?
What'd you see?
Our grad program people, they don't take no for an answer. So they searched the interwebs and they searched all these various supplement supply warehouses and actually found, because a lot of smaller, guys had SWAT Fuel in stock and had 40 cal vitamins in stock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one of our grad program members did a deep research and they found a place that was that had 40 cal in stock. So they ordered some, and
do they
everyone's
still have
it? You're not going to get it. They're gonna screw you over and send you Flintstone chewables or something. And he said, he reported back. He's like, nope. They said it was 40 cal. It is. I got it. So suck it.
I wonder if do they still have it, or are they out?
Suck it, haters. I don't know. He put the link up in the Liberty Mastermind group.
Oh, nice.
So, all right. What is our question today, Zach?
Our question comes in today. From the Discord server, which do we mention that already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we
did.
We
did.
Yep, there's a link in the show notes that you guys can click and go join the Discord server. It's open to everybody. Obviously, the grad program, when you're a grad program member, you get access to more parts of the server, more channels in the server. But as a public member, you can just jump in there for free, and there's some channels in there for you to enjoy as well.
Yes, indeed, there is. All right, so his question today is, I may have missed. I'm just reading the whole thing. I may have missed this in my search and reading, but does anyone here use bumper plates? If so, do you mix them with iron at all? I am building a platform like Jared did. I was wondering exactly if I need them exactly.
Okay.
And this is from Brandon Whitney.
Brandon, I think that you're up to a point now where the amount of weight that you're lifting is probably more than you can do with 45 bumper plates. And by that, I mean, you essentially, with bumper plates, you get 445 bumper plates on each side. You can't get 5. So if you're less than 400, if you're lifting less than 495 pounds, you can accomplish what you need to with the bumper plates. If you're higher than that, then you've got to mix it with iron. And the way that I look at bumper plates is when you get to a 45-pound plate as the first warm-up, so if your warm-up starts at 135 pounds for the deadlift, you don't really need the bumper plates if you have a platform, because the 45-pound plate is the diameter is enough so that you can actually, I'm trying to do a motion here and most people are listening, not watching. So I'm trying really hard not to like dip out of camera while I'm explaining this.
You're doing deadlift motions on
Yeah, I'm doing deadlift motions over here. And I'm like, no, Jared, stop.
Don't squat down, do a deadlift.
Yeah. So the 45-pound iron plate the diameter is such that you can actually grab the deadlift. It gets the bar high enough so that you can get in a deadlift position without having to raise it up or use a bumper plate. Now, if you're starting with the essentially 10 pounds on each side, because that's the smallest bumper plate that I've seen. And so if you're starting your warm up with 65 pounds, between 65 and 135, then you've got to get bumper plates. And the reason is because the bumper plates, even the 10 pounds, they're the same diameter as a 45-pound iron plate. And so that's the purpose that I use the bumper plates for. And now if you don't have a platform built, bumper plates obviously they protect your floor as well. And the bumper plates will last longer than the iron plates if you're dropping them heavily. So.
Yeah. What I have, you know, here's the thing that there are not all bumper plates. Now, let's go ahead and define what a bumper plate is for those people who don't know. Some people are probably like, what in the world is this guy talking about? You know, a thing that goes on the front of your car, or, you know, it's a guard for the front of your car. No, all right. You have, all right, when you lift up barbells, there are the plates that go on the side, straight steel iron ones, right? That have nothing, they're just painted black or red or orange or whatever. They're just painted. There's nothing around them. So if you drop that on concrete or whatever, it's going to chip it. It's going to break it. You have to have something underneath it. You have to have rubber matting and padding and so forth. Now, a bumper plate, this is generally when you get into your Olympic lifters. If you've ever been to an Olympic gym, they love to drop the bar, right? Look, the snatch and clean guy, you know, the snatch people, it almost seems like throwing the bar down is part of their routine. Remember when we went to Average Bros and we were working out and they were all in there like, throwing the bar. We're like, calm down, dude. Just set that thing down. They're like, no. Once you get it up, you just let it fall. Yep. And because of that, what they did is they created these Olympic plates that have rubber all around them. They have a rubber bumper. And then there's some plates that are completely encased in rubber. There's some plates that they just have a rubber edge. I have some of those, just the rubber edge ones. And then there's others where the entire plate is encased in this massive, thick, fat rubber thing. Regardless, there are some bumper plates that are relatively narrow. Jared, you know, like the red and the blue ones that I have.
Yep.
Those are actually, they're not much thicker than a standard iron plate. But then the 45 bumpers from what's its nuts, SLC Strength. Yep. Those are like 4 inches thick.
Yeah, I think he had
3 or 4 inches thick. Yeah, those are like 3 or 4 inches thick, and those are super thick plates. So you can only get so many of those on the bar. I think that's what our boy Brandon is asking. So
yeah. Hey Zach, I just dropped some pictures in the notes. Will you plop those up on the screen? So maybe. There's a picture of bumper plates so that the people watching can visualize, and then there's a picture of iron plates, and both of the pictures show different weights of plates. And you'll notice with the bumper plates, Zach, go ahead and pull that bumper plates thing if you can.
Working on it. One moment.
Okay, thanks. You'll notice with the bumper plates that all of the weights are the same diameter. So right there, you'll see the 10 pound is the same as the 35 and the 45. Now the thickness is different. So the 10 pounds are a little bit thinner than the 45s. The 45s are pretty thick. Now, Zach, if you pull up the iron plates so that they can look at those, you'll notice that the 10 pound plate is smaller in diameter than the 45-pound plate. And so if you're doing a deadlift, for instance, and you need to have 10 pounds on each side, then you obviously can't use these because they're so much smaller in diameter than the 45s.
Gopher.
Yeah.
See, I
Gopher?
can only see that on Facebook. I can't see it on our monitors. So
Oh, we need to get him in the Discord so he can watch
I
it
just
live.
checked that. So all right, I don't want to belabor this, but the fact of the matter is, it is okay to mix irons with bumpers. If you're going to be deadlifting, for instance, I don't have a thick platform like Jared does. I have rubber mats on the floor, and then I have bumper plates. So between the rubber baby bumper on my plates and the rubber baby bumper mat on my floor, I'm good, right? But not everybody has that, and if you're using iron, and the trick is, I think, if I'm correct, the Olympic bumper plates are more expensive than standard iron.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of
If
you
you
guys
get,
are
like,
like, price those. No.
Yeah, if you get official competition plates that are guaranteed to weigh exactly 45 pounds or 20 kilograms or whatever, then they're going to be far more expensive anyway. So that's one of those things where you can get just regular plates or regular bumper plates that aren't I can't remember, certified or whatever for competitions, and they'll be less expensive. So if you're just lifting in your garage and you're not running a competition, then you can get the less expensive ones. But even if they're not certified, then the bumper plates are generally more expensive than just regular iron plates.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. A Rogue, one single 20 kilogram plate from Rogue is 35 bucks.
Oh, okay. Oh, a 20 kilogram.
Yeah, 20 kg plate from Rogue, and it's steel, a steel one, not a bumper one.
Okay. Yeah, I think the bumper ones for 45 pound are about $100 or so.
Yeah, they're not cheap. And, unfortunately, we can't do what we used to do. What we used to do is we used to tell you, hey, go to Facebook Marketplace, and you're going to find all kinds of weight sets on sale at discount prices. But that's not the case anymore, because everybody knows what they've got. Everybody in the world all of a sudden decided overnight that they needed a home gym, and people who were getting rid of stuff were like, oh, I got the stuff. You got the money? Or you just can't find it.
Yeah.
Or basically the moment it goes on sale, someone snatches it up and it's just gone. Rogue is way behind. A lot of these companies are way behind. If you go to them, they'll tell you that they've got an 8 to 12 week lead time for delivery and stuff like that. Or you can pay like psycho premium, like right here. If you don't mind spending $353 for two 45-pound plates, you can buy them today.
Yep. You know what I'm going to do? I've seen a lot of stuff on the like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and whatnot. There's a lot of people that are selling wheels and tires. I'm just going to buy 4 wheels and tires, and then I'm going to drill a bar hole through the wheel, and then I'll just use those. It'll be great.
There you go. You can just do a junkyard weight set where you're just like, here you can be. Zach, who is that really strong, mean black MMA fighter?
I thought you were going to say wrestler. I was going to say junkyard dog. Bobby Lashley?
No. Bob
Rough. Sapp?
No, rough. Like he was like
Kimbo Slice.
That's it.
Oh,
Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I know. But you can build yourself a Kimbo Slice backyard set with an axle and a bunch of wheels, a bunch of discarded truck wheels. Yeah, rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. Rest in peace. All right. So we got that out of the way. We did that. Now we can thank our friends at Duracoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. Yes, it is. We got a Q. Who wrote that? Did you type that in there?
That was a question from our thing. That I wasn't sure if you wanted to answer that one, and also I asked Jared a question he didn't answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's whatever, Zach. Whatever you want to do. It's already there, so.
All
right. Yeah, that's.
I need to take a second to thank the contributors to the public group, and oh wow, look at that. Okay, I guess Trent Wood just didn't want to play anymore. But he's I'm just making fun of him now. He's on number 3 rather than number 2, so he got kicked out and then twice. Okay, number 10 is Jeremiah Mason. Number 9 is Alan Wilson. Number 8 is Steve Pergantis. Number 7 is Scott Hernandez. 6 is Brandon Schultz. 5 is Daniel Larson. 4 is Lynn Turowski. Number 3 is Trent Wood. Number 2 is Rick Umberger. And number 1 is JD Guthrie. So thank you guys for contributing to the public group. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this live, or even if you're watching it after when it's not live anymore, and you're not part of the Student of the Gun public group, I want you to go up to the search bar, type in Student of the Gun public group, join the group, and then contribute to the group. And then, because I want to read your name on this list of top 10 contributors. So thank you guys that are taking the time and the effort to actually post and comment and like people's stuff.
All right. Thank you very much, Jared, for doing that. So Duracoat, why? Because life is what? Life is what?
Too short to have
Too
an
short
ugly
to
gun.
have an ugly gun.
Yeah, there you go. Too short to have an ugly gun. I want to let you guys know that I did indeed follow up on my promise to you. Not like you give a crap or anything, but the Occam Defense Solutions, the ODS 1775 rifle, is now tiger striped. Yes. I used 3 different badass colors from our friends at Duracoat. I used the badass olive drab green, the badass HK black, and the badass Black Hawk Coyote tan. And we're going to be sharing. I actually let a couple of little sneak peeks out in the last couple of days of the gun, and that is going to be the gun that I hug for our official what? Our
National
official
Hug Your AK Day. It's coming up.
Right, it's coming up very soon. This is the month. It is now October, and October has always been my favorite month of the year. Whether I lived in Michigan, Ohio, even Mississippi, October's always been my favorite month of the year.
It's
I
spooky
remember
month.
growing up. Huh?
Spooky month.
Spooky month, yeah. It's just that time. And I know it's cliche. Everybody says this, oh, autumn is my favorite, basic white girl thing. But seriously, it's always been my favorite season. And October's always been my favorite month. And now there's even more of a reason for it to be my favorite month because of Hug Your AK Day on the 18th. And we're going to do it up right this year. I've got my newly refinished, and I want to take it out and shoot it, but I know that you're supposed to, after you do a Duracoat job, let it cure, let it harden 100% before you go out. It's dry to the touch, but it's still hardening. It takes a while. I don't bake mine. I don't put mine in the oven. You're like, you don't put yours in the oven? No, I don't put mine in the oven. And that's something that a lot of you guys might not know or realize, or you're still thinking 10, 15 years ago where that was something you had to do, was bake your gun parts in the oven after you sprayed them. Now with Duracoat, you just leave it alone. Hang it up to dry and leave it alone. Now, if you have a drying oven, it's not going to kill it. It's not going to hurt anything. But a lot of people don't have an industrial or commercial size drying oven in their house or their garage. Most people have an oven, and then their wife's like, I don't know what stinky crap you're putting in my oven, but don't ever do it again. Then you go out and you get your own toast oven and you put it in the garage and you bend your Kydex that way. So, yeah, check out Duracoat. They've got pretty much every color under the sun, and they've got the most badass finish you're ever going to put on a gun ever. End of story. That's it. And, it's pretty much the end of that story. DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com. Now, we alluded to this company just a second ago. Our dear departed friend, his wife's like, stop stinking up my kitchen with your plastic. He started out melting plastic or softening Kydex in his wife's oven, and his wife's like, stop that. You're stinking up the kitchen. Okay, all right. So he went and he bought a large toaster oven, and he put it in his workshop, and he started softening and melting Kydex like that. And that is part of the amazing story of Crossbreed Holsters. Literally about 10, 12 years ago, you had a guy in his workshop bending Kydex with a toaster oven. trying to come up with an idea, trying to come up with a solution, trying to, trial and error. You went from a guy in a garage with an idea to 12 years later, you've got a company that employs 40 or 50 people. They sell
It's more
holsters.
than that now.
Yeah, sell holsters nationwide, worldwide. They've got all kinds of SKUs and different products and so forth. If you haven't been to crossbreedholsters.com lately, you should go over there and see what they've got cooking. I guarantee you they have something for you. Unless you're trying to get like an in the pants for a Desert Eagle or something stupid like that, then probably not. But any normal request you would have, they've got it. And they even have, they've got canine collars. They've got the brand new chest rig that many of you guys may not even be aware of. They've got light bearing holsters. So if you're one of those guys who's got a Surefire or a Streamlight on there, they've got all kinds of stuff. They make the most comfortable inside of the waistband holster you're ever going to wear. And it's not just comfortable. It's high quality. It's the highest quality one you're going to get. So, but how can they save money? You're like, okay, that's cool, Paul, but how can I save money?
It's easy. You just use the promo code SOTG18.
And you put that in there and you're going to save money. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to be a happy camper. So
yeah, what I recommend doing is using that promo code to get a free horsehide upgrade. So when you're ordering a holster, whatever you're ordering, then use that as a means to upgrade to the next thing without having to pay any extra money. So that's what I recommend.
All right. And don't forget about our friends at Brownells at brownells.com. Every day they're getting in new products. Every day they're posting them on their website. And then every day you and your fellow Americans are selling them out. So if you want to know, what's new and what they've got in stock, you need to sign up for their newsletter. Because we are living in a different world. We are not living in the world where you're like, whatever, I'll get that eventually. I know it's in stock today, but I don't get paid until next week. So I'll order it next week. And then next week you go there and you're like, out of stock. What? How'd that happen? Yeah, because everyone in America is losing their minds right now. And they're buying everything they can find. Jared, did I tell you I went online to try and find double-aught buck shotgun shells?
No.
And everywhere I went, they were gone.
Seriously?
Yeah, everywhere I went, they were sold out. Didn't matter where. But there was one place that had, listen to this. How much do you think one individual round of double-aught buck should cost, approximately, per round?
Less than 50 cents.
No. Generally, in a normal, sane world, double-aught buck was about 75 cents to $1 a shot, depending on who you bought it from, if it was plated and if it wasn't plated. Mm-hmm. There's a company selling a case of 100 rounds for $199.99.
Holy crap.
For those of you that don't math well, that's $2 a shot. Yeah. So that's the world we're living in right now. We've got people. Oh, I found shotguns are all out of stock, right? I went to I don't know where it was. It was some online dealer, and they had a Mossberg Shockwave listed, 12 gauge, standard out of the box, nothing fancy, no rails, no whatever, just the standard Shockwave. Guess how much it was listed for?
$650.
$799.95.
Woo!
They were
$300.
Those were on sale a year ago for $299. People were running sales on Shockwaves for $299 a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. $799 for a Shockwave. That is not $799 worth of aluminum, steel, and plastic. Not even close. But that's the world we're living in today. So let the buyer beware. I'm just, I love you guys. And I hope that by now that you have everything you need. Because if you're in that position, I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday on the phone, and I said, every once in a while, somebody will still jump in and say, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a rifle. Really? You thinking about joining the Marine Corps too? You're thinking about it? Well, don't rush into it. Take your time. Come back to me in a couple of years and let me know what you did. I'm thinking about buying some extra food and keeping it in the house. You're thinking about that? Okay. All right, Zach, go ahead and play the Listen Up New Listeners video, and then we'll get into the main topic of the day.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right. Now, I don't know if this slipped by you guys or if you've been paying attention or not, but Remington, one of the oldest, they might have been. No, Remington was the oldest gun maker nonstop. The company that had been in business nonstop. There's been some companies that started, went out of business. Somebody bought them, brought them back. Then they went out of business again. Somebody bought them, brought them back again. Remington was the granddaddy, the great granddaddy of gun companies in America. Been running nonstop for 187 years or something like that, something crazy. Remington went bankrupt, but it wasn't like a Colt bankrupt where they just reorganized and stayed open. The Colt bankruptcy thing is like every other year we get a report, Colt has declared bankruptcy, and like, okay, the boy cried wolf, right? What does that mean? Oh, well, they're just shuffling stuff around. They're shuffling stuff between Colt Canada and Colt LE and Colt Military and whatever. No, but Remington declared bankruptcy, and Cat in the Hat and That Be That, bust a rhyme. Boom. They actually went bankrupt. And their assets have been sold. Yeah, for real. Jared, you want to go ahead and read the... You got the story open there from Syracuse.com.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says Remington Gun Factory in Ilion to be sold as part of company's breakup. And the Remington Arms Factory, which employs more than 700 people, will be sold to an investment company as part of a plan to break up the troubled gun maker and sell it off in pieces. Roundhill Group LLC is identified in bankruptcy court filings as a successful bidder for the non-Marlin portion of Remington's firearm business, which includes its gun factory in the Herkimer County village of Ilion and its handgun barrel factory in Lenoir City, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Roundhill has agreed to pay $13 million for the firearms business, according to documents filed Sunday in U.S. bankruptcy court. Wow, $13 million.
That's cheap.
That's so crazy. Yeah, that's like nothing. The pending sale has union leaders in Ilion optimistic that the gun factory will remain open.
Well, that's nice for them.
This is Cecil Roberts, who's president of the United Mine Workers of America International. He said that publicly available documents.
Working in a gun plant.
What?
You said the United Mine Workers of America?
Yeah.
Does Remington own a mine?
He said publicly available documents filed over the weekend with the bankruptcy court indicate that there could be a successful bidder for certain assets of Remington that would include the Ilion, New York plant, and that bidder would agree to keep the plant open.
Okay. Let's go ahead and skip down. I don't need to hear all this union worker garbage. Let's go ahead and skip down to Remington was founded. So Remington was founded in Ilion in, I knew it was, so 2020 minus almost 200 years.
Yeah, 196 years.
Wow. That's crazy. I knew it was a long time, but I didn't realize. Yeah.
Yep. So these are the other successful bidders for Remington's various businesses. Vista Outdoor Inc. was a successful bidder for the Lone Oak Ammunitions business. Sierra Bullets acquired Barnes.
Hey, hang on a second. We need to math on the radio. The year's 2020. It was founded in 1816. That's 204 years, not 196 years.
Oh. Yeah.
I know there are people out there. They're like, ah.
I went the wrong way with the 4. That's what we get for doing it live.
Yep.
So Sierra Bullets is acquiring Barnes, and this is the plan. I don't know if this has been actually finalized. It has.
Yeah. As of today, the courts approved it. So.
Okay, and then Sturm Ruger and Co. is going to be buying Marlin Firearms. JJE Capital Holdings, who are the people that own PSA, I believe, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so they're going to acquire DPMS, H&R, Storm Lake, AAC, and Parker brands. Franklin Armory Holdings, Inc. is going to be acquiring Bushmaster and certain related assets, whatever that means. And then Sportsman's Warehouse is going to be acquiring Tapco.
All right. Do me a favor, though, Jared. Go ahead and look up Round Hill Group LLC and see what they own while I talk about why this is. So the number one thing from this story, this is the number one part of the story that everybody in the gun culture is totally jacked about, is the number 3 line there. Ruger acquiring Marlin. Gun people, like dyed-in-the-wool traditional gun people, I don't mean, 28-year-old dudes that just bought their first gun yesterday. I mean, all the guys that have been in the gun world for a long time have been bummed for a while, because when the Freedom Group or Remington Outdoors or whatever they were calling themselves, when they bought Marlin, they basically destroyed the brand. They basically ruined them as a brand. And that's what they did with just about everybody. They did with DPMS. They did it with H&R. The Remington and the Freedom Group, after the Freedom Group, this investment group came in and they bought Remington. And then they started buying all these other companies. And everyone was like, wow, man, does that mean, new investment and stuff? No, what it means is that the vacuum cleaner salesmen in charge of Freedom Group are going to ruin and destroy all of these brands. And that's what they did. Did you come up with the answer to Round Hill Group?
No, so I don't know if Round Hill Capital and Round Hill Group are the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because I actually had to look up the JJ Capital Holdings LLC. I didn't know what that was. The number 1 holding of JJ Capital is Palmetto State Armory. And I know that the internet haters are just like, I hate PSA. And now they own AAC. So PSA is now in the suppressor business. What they're going to do with H&R, DPMS, and Storm Lake, I don't know. Franklin Armory buying Bushmaster was interesting. And hey, our recently, was about 2 months ago, we had our friends from Sierra on the radio. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Well, it was I think July. It was July or August. No, it was July. So yeah, a couple weeks ago. It's October. I'm actually really happy about that. That was the one thing that made me scared when Freedom Group bought Barnes. I was afraid they were going to screw that company up, because Barnes Ammunition is a really good company, and Barnes bullets are really good bullets. And I was afraid. I'm like, oh great, they're going to screw them up too. But they didn't. Now you know where Barnes is, Jared.
Yeah, they're right south of Provo.
Yeah, they're south of Provo. They're in your valley. They're at the bottom of your valley. They're part of that great big Utah, Salt Lake City cabal of gun and gun accessory makers. So I'm happy about that. I'm actually pleased. And something that we learned about Sierra Bullets is that a few years ago, they were actually purchased by a company who decided, hey, let's put some investment. Let's put some money behind this company. Let's come up with some new products. Because up to that point, Sierra kind of had just been riding, the same wave that they'd been on for 50 years or so. So that is a good thing. I think that Sierra working with Barnes and Barnes working with Sierra is a good thing. Vista, that is interesting. So Federal just went from being a big company to basically the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. So you've got in America, you've got big ammo companies. You had Remington, Federal, Winchester, right? And then Hornady. So you had Remington, Federal, Winchester, the big three, then Hornady right behind them, and then pretty much everybody else. Well, Federal Spear, the Vista Group, they now own the Remington ammo manufacturing plant. That is a BFD. So a lot of BFDs here in this story for gun people. The Vista thing, I think, is a good idea. Federal and Spear, unlike Winchester and Remington, have had a pretty good track record for quality control, for keeping up quality control. Not 100% because, well, we've had problems. The only company that has had a 100% track record for quality control has been Black Hills, and then Hornady probably is like right behind them. Hornady makes really good quality ammo. Winchester used to have, 20 years ago, Winchester's quality control was supreme. Their white box ammo was almost, it was basically as good as their premium ammo. It really was. And since the Obama years, when everyone lost their mind and had to have 1 million rounds right now, and they started cranking these plants up and running them 24 hours a day, the quality control just went, it just nosedived. It was like they were on a roller coaster and like, hey, this is fun. Ah!
It's like, how do we handle this?
Yeah, now it's like every other box of white box ammo you open and it's a flipped upside down primer, or there's a crimped case or something. And that's basically because they're making so much so fast that the QC is gone. And the same thing happened to Remington. It's sad, but it did. The same thing happened to Remington. So I'm hoping that when we get to the other side of this lunacy that we're in right now, that we will get back to some stability. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm hoping we'll get back to some kind of stability. Now, the JJ Holdings, or the JJ Capital Holdings, basically the PSA one, Jared, what did we see? Oh, no, you weren't there at this year's SHOT Show, but what was the BFD with PSA? The BFD with PSA
I was
at SHOT 2020.
LOL.
I was at SHOT Show and I don't remember.
Okay, it's the fact that PSA launched their own line of firearms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, up to that point, they were selling other people's guns and they were selling their own parts, but now they're selling their own assembled guns. And they have essentially a Glock 19 clone that they call what do those freaks call it? They call it what do they call it? I know everybody's screaming at the radio. They're like, I know. They call it the
Thing.
Come on, interwebs. Help me out here. PSA Glock. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in PSA Glock. The Dagger. Yes, the Dagger. Now, some people spell it D-A-G-R. Some people spell it like normal dagger. I've seen stories with both. But the Palmetto State PS9 Dagger is basically a 290 that's been called the Glock Killer, the 299 Glock Alternative, the whatever. We got to look at a prototype essentially at SHOT Show. Well,
this is the first time I've actually seen this.
Yeah,
I'm curious as to how they're not violating the patent.
Oh, the patent expired a long time ago.
They didn't do it's interesting. Okay.
The Glock design.
Generally, companies that have things like this patent multiple pieces of the thing. so that it
Yeah.
doesn't really ever actually expire, but like a piece of it'll expire.
No, they that that exact size, shape, model, everything for the Glock 1917 that expired. That's why Polymer 80 can do what they do,
Right.
and that's why they were making steel frame and aluminum frame Glocks for a while. But yeah, so well, think about that. So Palmetto State went from, hey, we're going to be able to make our own guns like this to, oh, we just acquired Bushmaster and all their assets, which would include the machines that they use to make guns. What? Yeah. So they're going to, man, DPMS, H&R, Storm Lake, AAC, and Parker rifles, Parker brands. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money that PSA is throwing around right now. I wonder if the other usual suspects, if they just passed, like I wonder if Brownells saw the deal and they're like, yeah, we'll pass. Or if Midway saw the deal and thought, we'll pass.
Well, Brownells is a little bit further down the road on production, and well, I don't really know. I don't know their business plan. But
Yeah, you know,
I don't. Like right now, Brownells is more of a fulfillment center, so I don't know.
Yeah, but they have their own products. They have a lot of their own products now.
They do.
They have their own bolt carriers, their own, their own guns, their own optics. So we'll see. It's interesting. But where are we at right now, Zach, with time?
46 minutes and 43 seconds.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that is the big deal. That is what is going on in the gun world. And before we go, I'm going to share it, and everybody in our audience has been, well, they're like, how in the world can a gun company in 2020 go out of business? I mean, literally, are they not selling everything they can make? Well, I'll tell you how. This is what happens. Mark my words, freaks. This is what happens when non-gun people decide, when, these traditional capitalist, whatever, they show up in the gun world and they're like, we're going to show you stupid rednecks how to do business. You silly redneck gun people, you think you know how to run a company, but we're going to show you how. A good friend of mine, whose name I'm not going to mention because he didn't give me permission to, but I trust him and I trust his word. He was there when Remington took over in 2009, when Remington started buying up all these companies, DPMS and Marlin and so forth. And he related the story to me. That is when they decided they were going to come back out with the 1911, the R1. Jared, you remember the R1 1911?
Yep.
Well, they had he was at a board meeting with all of these new guys that had been hired by the Freedom Group. These guys who had come from vacuum cleaner companies and tool manufacturer companies and investment group companies. And they're all sitting around this big conference room table. And somebody walks out and they had a prototype of the new R1 pistol. And they set it on the table and they said, "This is our new product, gentlemen." And he said, everyone at the table kind of picked it up and rolled it over in their hands. And he said, no one touched the slide. No one worked it. He said, it worked around to me. He said, I picked the gun up, locked the slide to the rear, made sure it wasn't loaded, inspected it, and passed it on. And he said, do you know why no one else in the room did that? Because no one knew how. Nobody else in the room knew to pick the gun up. First of all, why did you set the gun on the table with the slide forward? No one can see the chamber. I don't know where that gun came from. Does it have a cartridge in it? I don't know. Probably not, but we don't know. Nobody did. He said they picked it up and they looked at it like it was a hammer. Because that's what they were. They were hammer salesmen. They were blender salesmen. They were vacuum cleaner salesmen. And they all showed up and they had this idea that a widget is a widget is a widget. They're all commodities. Guns are commodities, like blenders are commodities, like toasters are commodities. And this is how you sell commodities. That's why Remington had so many. How many guns did Remington have recalled over the last 10 years? A lot, right? Why? Well, because when you make toasters, hey, if we have a 3% margin of error or 5%, with our toasters or hammers or vacuum cleaners, it's no big deal. We just warranty it and people move on with their lives. Yeah, but here's the deal. How many people have hardcore brand loyalty to a toaster?
Very few.
Right. How many people have hardcore, like, live and die brand loyalty to a vacuum cleaner?
That's a little higher, but not a lot.
Not a lot. How do
Prices
people
are pretty
buy
good, though.
those things? They go in, they price shop, they figure, I don't want to buy the cheapest one because it's probably junk, but I'm not buying the most expensive. I'll buy the one in the middle. Or they I'll just buy the cheapest one and be like John Panette. Like, if it breaks, God forbid, I'll give you $20 and I'll buy another toaster. Right?
You could also
That's
be
not-
like me and just take the one from the office that everyone said was broken, and then just pull out the Legos and markers that were stuck in the hose, and then it works fine. That's how I got a Dyson vacuum cleaner. They're like, oh yeah, it's broken. If you can fix it, you can have it. And it was just jammed up with markers and Legos. Anyway, continue.
Nice. So that is how they approached when these geniuses that showed up at the Freedom Group. That's how they approached guns. They're like, we know how margins work. We know how this works. We know how all it works. And we can sell guns to those stupid American rednecks and they'll thank us for it. And I said in 2009, when I went I said, that's not how the American gun buyer is. There are American gun buyers today that will buy a Mossberg because their grandfather taught them how to shoot with a Mossberg. And if it was good enough for their grandfather, it's good enough for them. And that's the end of the story. There are people today who will buy nothing but Remington products, although they lost that. There are people today that still won't buy a Smith & Wesson because of Smith & Wesson's deal with the devil in the 1990s. People in the gun culture are fiercely loyal to brands. I'm not talking about these Johnny-come-lately people. I'm talking about, you say, well, yeah, but this guy, they bought whatever. They have one gun. A family that owns one gun is not part of the equation. A dude that who has a safe and then he's got a bunch stacked up in his closet because his safe is full, that is the guy who has fierce brand loyalty. That is your customer. And what Freedom Group said is, we don't give a crap about those people. We're going to sell guns to anybody. And if we have to recall some because they're not ready, well, then screw it. We'll just recall them. But you can only do that so much. And they put out a lot of turds over a period of 10, 11 years or so. And that is why in year 2020, the 1920, when everyone in the world is selling, every gun maker in the world is selling everything they can make as fast as they can make it. That's why a company like Remington, and there were other mitigating circumstances. There were some lawsuits and what have you. But there's been a lot of lawsuits. Hell, Glock has survived lawsuits. SIG has survived lawsuits. Basically every company that's more than 20 or 30 years old has survived a lawsuit. But there was a lot of factors, and complete and basically almost total mismanagement of those companies is why that happened. And I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but the facts are the facts. They decided, they're like, we're smarter than you guys. We know what we're doing. You stupid gun people, shut up and listen to us, and we're going to tell you how to run a company. And the guys over at Ruger have their arms crossed and they're like, how'd that work out for you? We've got a friend at Weatherby that used to work for Remington, and I bet you that our friend at Weatherby is really happy that he made that move a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That was a good move. So, that is the State of the Union. And just from my own perspective, and I have been paying attention to this for a long, long time. And it's sad because, 10, 15 years ago, I had a really good relationship with the people at Remington. And then all this Freedom Group nonsense happened, and they became the smartest people in the room, and they were going to show everybody how it was done. And bing, bang, boom, 11, 12 years later, that's how it's done. You took a 204-year-old company and whoosh, destroyed it. Good job. Good job. And no, I don't think Soros was a major shareholder in Remington. It was like, it was Soros. He bought it and destroyed it. And Ruger is happy for that.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
And Ruger and PSA and Sierra and Vista, they're like, hey, I go. Yeah. All right. What are we going to talk about on Wednesday? Some of these folks are making it too easy. As a United States Marine, I like to poke fun at the Army and the Navy because I can. But they're just making it too easy. I mean, come on. You're just making it too easy. Now, you folks remember when we reported about the U.S. Army altering their basic training standards to eliminate the grenade throw and land nav because the average recruit couldn't do it. So instead of getting better recruits and better training, we're just going to eliminate it. That makes sense, right? You say, well, that's as weak as they're possibly going to get, right? Oh, no. It's gotten worse. And then the Navy's over on the other side, like, #me too. #me too. And yeah, we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. All right, that is it. Cat in the Hat and that be that. Bust a rhyme. Remember, kids, you're a beginner once.
And you're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
Alrighty, cool. Hey, Jared, what the hell was that?
Yeah, what the heck happened at the end there?
What are you talking about?
That noise.
What noise?
It was like, Dad, I'll explain it. For a minute there, it looked like you were talking to somebody off screen, and then as you said your line, there was somebody talking really muffled in the background. Like you accidentally pulled up a low-quality video or something. Like, if you want to go back to the stream and watch the last 5 seconds before, or 10 seconds before the
Did you hear me talking?
Yes, we heard you, but then there was also, like, Roger Biden, Roger Davis, Robert.
I muted my mic, though.
But then you unmuted yourself to say the thing, and whatever the hell was happening was still happening.
Oh, I don't know, because there was nobody else talking then.
Whatever.
All right, I'm going to go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Go for it. Guys, we'll be do we want to say, like, 5 minutes? Let's just say 5 minutes, because he just pulled off his headphones. All right. So, guys, we will be back in about 5 minutes. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. are back.
Got the funkiest. We have the funkiest fresh bumper music in the world.
Hell yeah, we do. Yeah, so apparently Jared forgot that we were doing this now.
They're doing what now?
The bumper thing.
Oh,
You got the assault gun.
yeah.
Sweet.
There's a big damn fly that was screwing with me the whole time last show. And I'm like, all right, I got something for your fly ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the what happened here was it got cold.
Yeah. Remember, we're
But
still
then
live.
it got warm again. It got back
Yeah.
up into the 70s, and all the flies are like, one last time.
Yeah.
So,
One more time before the winter
yeah,
comes.
one more time.
One more time.
Hatched
It's like
and
that
then
band.
they've been getting in the house and freaking pissing me off. So,
Thankfully, I haven't had too many fly problems in my place. A little bit, but not too bad.
it's not horrible. It's just annoying. And
Yeah.
I got something for their ass.
I broke my AirPod thing. The little lid broke off. I'm sad.
AirPod?
Yeah. My you can't see me, so there's no point in turning on anything. But you know that the little case the AirPods come in, it's kinda like your skull candy ones, except it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
more smooth and all that. I broke the lid off.
How the fuck did you do that?
I was playing with the lid and then it just snapped. But I
So
play
you're
with the lid all
you're
the time.
mongoloid.
I wasn't like pushing on it, I just kind of flipped it open like a lighter. Also, do you remember what I've said about you being like a politically opposite Jim Cornette?
Uh-huh.
That is the absolute, like, you just reinforce it with that Remington talk.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is what happens when non-gun people come into the gun industry. They're just like, oh, we know how to do business. Why don't you peons sit back and watch how it's done?
Yeah, he said the same thing about wrestling.
Yes, he's like, this is what happens when suits come into the wrestling business.
They're like, hey, we know how to do business.
Yeah, we
Sit
know how to
down
do
and
business.
watch us do it.
Exactly. And then they ruin it because it's not a normal business.
Yeah.
It's not toasters. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not reality TV.
Yeah, well, they hired Freedom Group hired a guy from like Genie Appliances to be their fucking CEO.
Oh, literally.
Yeah, they literally hired a guy who was the former president of Genie.
Wow.
And they're like, well,
Yeah.
a blender is a toaster, is a hammer, is a gun, is a rat, is a whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they're all commodities, and this is how you sell commodities. You figure out how much it makes to manufacture them, you do your margin, and you sell them.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That's not how you do it. You fucking fucked hard.
Yep. And funny enough, again, going back to it, you know who WCW hired before Eric Bischoff? A guy named Jim Hurd. You know what Jim Hurd did before becoming the CEO of a professional wrestling company?
He worked for, I have no idea.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Same thing.
I don't know.
I mean, we're just selling a product. A product is a product is a product. And
Yep.
except that it's not.
It's not the same thing.
No.
They're not all the same thing.
Yeah. It brand loyalty. Gun people, real gun people, not these Johnny come lately fuckers, but real gun people are crazy brand loyal.
Yeah.
And they also hold a grudge like nobody's business.
Yeah.
If you burn them, they will hold a grudge against you for fucking decades.
Are people still mad at Cheaper Than Dirt?
Oh yeah, the only people that buy anything from Cheaper Than Dirt are the ones that don't fucking know any better. Millennial, like the Gen Z fuckers,
Yeah.
who have no idea. Those are the only people.
Jared's back.
Hey, are we still live?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
live.
Oh, okay. To the public?
Yes.
Well, in Discord.
No.
No,
Everywhere.
we're live like everywhere.
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, congratulations. But we're not. Well, we are. So here.
All right.
Let's take a look at some of the Cheaper Than Dirt specials.
Yeah.
20 rounds of 5.56, $49.89. You said, what did you say? 20 rounds of 5.56 for $50? That's how much a round? $2.50 a shot?
Yeah. That's a lot.
$2.50 a shot for 223. Well, you either want it or you don't. You want it or you don't want it. You want it or you don't. It's like 50 rounds of Full Metal Jacket MagTech ammo, which should be $11.99 a box. $59.89 for Full Metal Jacket 9mm. All right, let's math that.
All right.
$1.20 a shot
Damn.
for 9mm Full Metal Jacket.
Dirt must be really expensive then, if that's what they're charging.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you want it or don't you want it? You want it or don't you want it?
Rada.
Rah.
Because as we know, that's what people love to hear. It's like, well, buy it or don't, prick.
Yeah, buy it or don't. Fuck you. If you don't want it, then fucking don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someday the bubble will burst. You can either do the Brownells model, where you say, hey, we know it's a bad time. We know but we're not going to fuck you.
Yeah.
Because
we're still
we
public.
want you to be here in 2, 3, 4 years. Or you can do this model where, oh, you either want it or you fucking don't. And if you don't, then fuck you.
Whatever. Yeah. iTunes is the important one, I suppose. All right. So, you guys ready to get back to the actual radio show part?
Yep. And that's when Zach, that's when you have to go back to the who knows how the American gun buyer thinks.
Gun people.
Yeah, how Brownells knows that the gun culture holds a fucking grudge like no one's business, like a camel walking across the desert.
Yep.
They know that.
Wait, what? Do camels hold grudges?
No, the camel doesn't need water.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Alrighty. Yep.
It's people aren't going to be mad at their toaster company.
Yeah.
People aren't going to like go in and see a toaster that costs X and say, "Oh, fuck that company! I'll never buy a blankety blank toaster again," because in 2 years they won't even remember the fucking name of that toaster.
I don't own a toaster, so
Yeah.
it's like yeah. All right.
You have pans that you can toast your bread in.
That is true. Yeah. Did I mention to you guys how my microwave broke?
How the fuck do you break a microwave?
Why'd you hit it with a baseball bat?
Are you a fucking mongoloid?
All right, Mr. and Mr. Judgmental. Now shut up and listen. You know how it got broken?
How?
Popcorn. I put popcorn in it, and that blew out the frickin' breaker.
Did you know, Zach, that when you put popcorn in a stainless steel bowl and you put the kernels in, you're not supposed to put them in the microwave?
Hilarious.
How? All right. Was it in a popcorn bag?
It was a standard popcorn baggie. The one you take out, it's in a little plastic thing. You take it out of the plastic thing, you put it on the thing, and you press the popcorn button, it burns your popcorn. That kind of popcorn.
Craziest shit I have ever heard.
And I talked to the freaking dude who came in to fix it. And he was like, yeah, for some reason these microwaves don't like popcorn. And I was like, well, guess what I made right before it broke? Popcorn.
Are you fucking kidding?
That's
the fuck manufactures a microwave
that breaks
in
with popcorn.
2020 that can't cook microwave or popcorn.
You can't cook microwave.
Shut up. Can't cook popcorn.
Yep.
That's like if a gun company were to make a pistol and say, you can only put this kind of ammo in it.
You can't
put any other kind. It's gonna break.
You can't put brass in it. You have to use steel cased.
Yeah, you can't put 115 grain Full Metal Jacket ammo in there, because if you do, it won't work. Mm-hmm. You're like, what? Everyone puts that in there. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Well, fortunately, we live in an era where no gun company would ever do that.
Oh, totally.
They would never put popcorn in a microwave.
They would never put popcorn in a microwave. We're just. That's funny. Who was I telling that story to? Oh, it was Alan. He didn't know about the Solo story, about how they made a gun. You could only put one specific, really expensive kind of ammo in, and if you didn't use that ammo, it wouldn't work.
I know, right?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, Dad. Did you guys hear that?
No.
Jared, mute yourself.
Shh. Okay. Yeah, it's on his end.
Yep.
What is it?
I don't know. Just, okay, be very quiet and listen closely. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Like a washing machine or something?
Dude, I'm literally sitting in the sound blanket area. I don't know what you're talking about. I
Well,
can't
you
hear
muted
anything.
yourself and it went away, and even Dad can hear it, and he's deaf. So,
Let me listen again.
all right.
Turn your headphones up, Jared.
I heard it.
Is the dishwasher going or something? Maybe you have pipes?
No, there's literally no noise.
Well, it's coming from your side. Because when you mute your microphone, it goes away.
Yeah. Like right now, it's gone. It's not consistent enough to be like a laptop fan or something, because that was a thought I had.
Yeah. No, it's like.
Is it that's what I thought, Chris? But then it's like it's kind of like if it was like a laptop fan, it would be
Where did Chris say something?
on the Student of the Gun Facebook page.
Facebook.
Not Liberty.
What did he say? Oh, fan. No, like there's no fan in here. There's nothing.
And that wasn't there when we did the first episode.
Interesting.
You want to like disconnect and reconnect, see if that helps?
No.
But that wouldn't make any sense.
No, that wouldn't, because if he mutes his microphone, it goes away. So that wouldn't make any sense.
I can see what you're doing, Jared, and that's not helping.
Okay. Maybe, hold on. Let me put this on airplane mode. Maybe that's what it is.
That'd be crazy.
Chris Stabler, if you're still listening, the comment about Remington was destabilized by Walmart. Actually, the company that was hurt the most by Walmart was Vista, because all that weird purple box federal ammo in Walmart, that was Vista. That was a Walmart exclusive. They made that purple box ammo exclusively for Walmart, and so when Walmart shut them off, the guys at Vista and Federal and Spear and CCI and Federal were harmed more by Walmart than Remington was.
Okay, now real quick, everyone be quiet. I can still hear it.
I can't.
Okay, well,
I
real
can't
quick.
hear it either. I have no idea. Like I heard a little bit of the, like, I don't know, white noise, I guess you could call it, earlier, but I can't hear anything now.
Yeah, people who are watching live, and this is actually a good thing that people are live, so we're not crazy. Can you guys hear it? Like, okay, right now. All right, Kyle Jones and Ryan Barker say no.
Okay.
No one else. Oh, wait. Sounds like radio interference, says Too Many Hobbies. You did mute your cell phone. Not mute your cell phone. Thing. Okay, he says it's gone. I can still hear it a little bit.
I think with us talking, it'll drown it out anyway.
Overpower it. Yeah.
So, Chris Stabler says he hears it. Good.
Oh, sweet.
Well, all right.
I have a piece of advice for those of you that can hear it when you're listening. Just mute your audio device so you can hear nothing and you won't hear it anymore.
You're stupid.
There you go. Very smart. All right. Time for us to get back to the actual show for realsies this time.
All right, we're going to do Wednesday's show. We're going to have some fun with this one.
Yep. It's going to be the most fun we've ever had in our lives.
I'm going to hurt some squid feelings. Some doggy and some squid feelings here.
Yeah. All right. All right, Jared, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. We're going to begin Wednesday's episode of SOTG Radio in 3, 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a Wednesday episode of Student of the Gun Radio. What do we have on tap for you today? Well, I'm going to tell you what we have. We've got, let's see, we've got the Army trying to outweak the Navy, and then the Navy being all hashtag me too. The Navy said, no, we are going to be weaker and more PC than you. The Army said, no, you can't be more weak and more PC than we are. So right now, the United States Army and the United States Navy have a contest to see who can be more vag-tastic. So that's going on. We have a Brownell's bullet points for you, and we also have a student of the gun homeroom. And if you are listening live right now or watching live on Facebook or Discord, well, you can ask a question. Go into the comments and ask a question. And if we feel that it is pertinent and relevant to the general listening audience, we may answer it.
And we will not leave out you guys on YouTube. We promise.
Are they on YouTube right now too?
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Discord. That's where you can watch.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. I did not know we were doing YouTube because we tried it before and it just didn't seem like it was working. But okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got to say. DJ, hit it.
And pause. Jared, check your microphone settings. Because I realize your microphone audio is really bad and the sound's back, and also I could hear your cups get set down.
That's probably what it is.
Yep.
Your mic settings.
You might get disconnected or something.
Yep.
Technical foibles, favorite part of the job. So how's everyone else doing today? Got any plans for after we're done with radio?
Wow. Hold my beer and watch this. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
After I'm
That's what it was. Can you hear me now?
Hey! The sound's gone. You don't sound like shit anymore.
There you go. Okay.
I knew there was something wrong. What happened? Did it just like your computer get bumped or something and it turned off your microphone or something?
It went back to the MacBook Pro instead of this audio box. So all right.
Okay. All right, problem fixed.
Play the opening.
Yeah, about to say I'll just play the opening and that'll be our comeback thing.
Thank you.
Our comeback. All right.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Yes, indeed. It is I. It is I. Oh, the Pimp Hand of America was not the job I was looking for, but it was a job I accepted when I realized that I was the only person in America capable of executing that task. It wasn't something I was out there looking for. I didn't apply for the job, but the job came to me, and I took it. Sometimes that's just what you've got to do. All right, freaks and freakettes, if you've not been paying attention lately, we have been working tirelessly to try and give you information, enlightenment, and encouragement. Right now in the United States of America, we're experiencing a massive caca storm. Yes, and it seems to be coming to us from all directions. You can do one of two things. You can just get angry, or there's three things you can do. You can either get angry and post on Facebook about how angry you are. You can ignore it, pretend that it's not happening, and hope that it goes away. Because we know that's how it works, right? If you discover a tumor, you just ignore it and you pretend it's not there, and eventually it goes away. Is that how that works? No. Or the third option is you can actually focus your mental energy and your physical energy on doing something productive that will help you and your community. And that is what the Patriot Fire Team is all about. The Patriot Fire Team is all about taking your angst and your energy and your frustration and focusing it on something positive, something that you can do that is good and valuable. Because ignoring the problems in the United States right now is not going to make them go away. And just getting angry and posting on Facebook, while it might make you feel good in the moment, is not going to fix the country. We have to do something a little bit more tangible. And so that's why we came up with the idea and the concept behind the Patriot Fire Team years and years ago. And what we have done is we have done a video series. We're not done with the video series yet. We're just getting started. We have a how-to video series, step by step. The first video is about leadership and the equipment or gear that a leader will require that is not so obvious. Everybody knows guns and ammo and armor and all that stuff, but there's a lot more to it and a lot more to being a leader than that. So that is the first one. So, ladies and gentlemen, that video is up. Hello, beautiful. That video is up on Facebook and Full30 and YouTube and all that good stuff. And avail yourself to it right now. And if you're watching live, you get to see my beautiful granddaughter. Hello, baby Ruth.
Say hi, Grandpa.
Hello, sweetness. She got the microphone. Hello. Hi, baby girl. You see, if you're not watching on Facebook or Discord or YouTube, you're missing out on that beautiful, chubby little face.
Say, I just woke up.
Did you just wake up, baby? Oh, look at that beautiful baby. Look at that beautiful baby. All right, baby. Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Love you. Love you. Oh, that little blue-eyed baby. That is the future. That is the future. That is why I do what I do. That's why every morning when I wake up and I open my eyes, I think, what can I do today to help save this nation? What can I do today to turn things around? So, moral of the story, go to getsotg.com and sign up for the grad program. Jared has made it super ridiculously easy for you guys to do that. You really, other than being just apathetic and saying I don't care, there's no reason not to go and sign up. This will give you something to do besides just complain on Facebook.
And again, the first episode is available for freezies on all of our various platforms, so you get the full series at
Facebook, YouTube, Full30. And if you go to getsotg.com, the video's right there, and you can watch it, and you say, oh, that was actually intelligent information, and I'm glad that I have that now, and I'm going to take that information and run with it. So you got that. Yeah. All right. What else are we going to talk about on the radio today? Do you boys have anything else to say before we go to the bam?
Brownhouse ball points.
Nope.
I do not.
I do. There's going to be a Q&A session at some point during the show if we get enough questions that are pertinent to the bigger audience. Remember, I think Dad said that earlier, but I wanted to remind you that's going to happen. So right now is the time to ask your questions.
You can ask them. Boom! Yes, indeed. That is the Brownells Bullet Points. That is the intro to the Brownells Bullet Points, and we're going to talk about what today? Now, during the breakity break between the two shows, we were still live on Facebook and YouTube and so forth. And I brought up, quite frankly, I said there are two schools of thought right now in the United States when it comes to firearms manufacturers, accessories, and so forth. There's thought A that, hey, if you want it, you're going to pay for it. You know, there's a company out there that's selling Full Metal Jacket 9mm for $1.20 a shot. You know, so $60 for 50 rounds. On one hand, they're like, hey, if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. That we don't care. And on the other hand, there's a company that says, you know what? We need to be around not just during the crisis, but after the crisis and years after that. And as we going back to Monday's episode, the gun culture, not these Johnny-come-latelys that, you know, these hippie liberal Democrats that ran to a gun store and had to buy a gun, you know, at the last minute. No, not those people. The actual gun culture. Like I said, the guys who have they have a bunch of guns in their closet because their gun safe is full and they haven't gotten a new one yet. Those people hold a grudge like no one's business. But they also are brand loyal like no one's business. So if you make friends with those people, they'll be your friend for life. If you screw them over, they will hate you for decades. And they will tell everyone that they hate you for decades. You know, example, Smith & Wesson. Example, Remington. So on and so forth. So while one lower than a company that's lower than dirt is essentially charging 800 to 1,000 times what they were last year for products. You've got a company like Brownells. Brownells said, you know what? We know that you guys need projects. We know that winter is coming, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do you a solid. We're gonna do you a favor. And so I went to Brownells, their website, and on the homepage it says fall into autumn. Oh, you like that? And they got the leaves there. So fall into autumn from Midwest Components, deals from Midwest Critical Components for your success. So, okay, they're running a sale. Hang on a second. You're telling me that in the 2020 leading up to the election, mass panic when people are buying guns, ammo, accessories, everything as fast as they can get them, people who don't even know what they're buying are buying stuff, right? And Brownells is running sales? Are they crazy? Don't they know that they could jack their prices up 400% and people would still buy it? What's wrong with them? Well, what's right with them is the fact that they know that they want to be there for you, not just now during the crisis, but next year and the year after and the year after and the year after. So all you got to do is go to their homepage and you click on the very first tab, which is fall into autumn sales. And we got stuff from Midwest. Midwest Industries, they used to sponsor Student of the Gun. They should still sponsor us, but they fell off the radar. And that's okay. They still make good stuff, Troy. That was for you, Troy. Midwest Industries, an AR-15 combat handguards free-floated kit, a complete kit. And it's free-floated, and they give you all the parts. They give you the wrench. They give you the barrel nut. They give you all that stuff. What else have they got? They've got a folding backup iron sight kit. They've got a lot of rails and parts. So then you say, well, what else do they have? Well, we've got gas blocks. We've got upper receivers. We have the flash hiders. They are actually making, you guys know how we really like these inexpensive flash can type devices. A lot of you guys are like, oh man, I like a barking spider, but I really can't justify the cash for a barking spider. Okay, I got you. You still need something to push the gas, especially if you're using a rifle caliber pistol. If you use a rifle caliber pistol that is either a straight muzzle, like has nothing on it, or one of these stupid comp brakes, that these idiots play with on the weekend at their 3-gun. Sorry, but if you do that, you need to be smacked in the head. They've got one. It's a product from Midwest. It's called a blast can compensator. It's only $28. No, I lied. It's on sale from Brownells for $26. How can you go wrong? You can't. If you guys are out there building, somebody asked me the other day about rifle caliber pistols and what barrel lengths and all that. And I said, look, if you got an RCP in 5.56, you've got to put something on the front of that thing to push the gas away from your face, or it's just going to suck. It's going to pow, 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 pow. Every time you pull the trigger, it's like someone's popping you in the chops, right? $26.99. This is the half by 28 threaded version. You'd be crazy not to take advantage of something like that. So, and there's a lot more stuff. There's more sights. There's more parts, components, rails, and bro, they're either brand new products that just came into the catalog, or they're on sale. And that is the difference. If you're wondering, you're like, well, all these online parts and accessory companies, and they're all basically the same. They have the same stuff, and they have the same, they all get it from the same manufacturers. That might be true, but they're not all the same. Some of them just look at you like, hey, you either want it or you don't. You either buy it or don't buy it. We don't care. We're jacked up the price 1,000%. If you don't like it, too bad. But Brownell said, yeah, here's what we're going to do for you. We know you guys are into building guns. We know that it's coming into the winter season. You're going to be in your shop assembling. You're looking for a project. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get all these parts. We're going to put them on sale. What? don't they know that they could double or triple the prices and still sell? Don't they know? Are they crazy? No, because they know their audience. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference. And that is what Remington didn't understand. And that's why the Freedom Group tanked Remington and all its other companies. And that's why they just got sold for pennies on the dollar. So, yeah, you can either do things the right way or the quick way or the easy way or whatever. So, all right, check those guys out at brownoath.com. Sign up for their newsletter so you don't miss a deal or a special or a sale. There you go. Duracoat, because why?
Life is too short to have an ugly gun.
That's right. And you want to be badass. You want to have a badass finish on your gun? You do. You see, what you do is you go to Brownells and you shop around for all these parts that are on sale. You acquire those parts. Then you go into your shop and you assemble that black rifle or AK or whatever. You assemble it and you're like, I bet that this would look super sexy in an olive drab. Or you might be one of those guys that bought parts from company A, B, C, and D, put them all together, and even though they're all technically blued steel, some of them are blued, some of them are parkerized, some of them are anodized, they don't actually look the same color. How many of you guys have ever made a Franken gun and the rail was a different shade than the receiver, it was a different shade than the stock was a different shade than the pistol grip, and so forth? You're like, I want it all just to be the same color. Slightly darker black. Go to Brownells, and I'm sorry, you go to Duracoat, you pick up a can of slightly darker black, and then it's all the same. Crazy, right? The truth of the matter is, if you're buying parts in the raw and you're assembling them all, you probably should put a finish on them anyway. Just saying. And you can do that if you go to DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com. SWAT Fuel is trying really hard to recover from the damage that was done to them by the out of control maniacal governors in our state, in our country. Remember this, whether you like Donald Trump or whether you don't like Donald Trump, all of the abuse that you have taken, whether it's masks or forced lockdowns or having your business shut down, none of that was done by Donald Trump. It was done by your governor and your mayor. This little political announcement for you guys. So Donald Trump didn't shut down your business.
Would you say that that's a political service announcement?
Yeah, a political service announcement. So
Another PSA.
a PSA, not Palmetto State, but a political service announcement. All right, let's go ahead and listen up to what Zach has to tell you.
ShopSOTG.com is the perfect place to go if you are a student of the gun. Whether you want to expand your brain, increase your marksmanship, or help keep your family safe. All that, plus the pimp hand brands that you love. ShopSOTG.com has almost anything that an American patriot would want. Education, enlightenment, and entertainment, and we're open 24/7. Check out ShopSOTG.com today and see for yourself.
Yes, that's what you should do, because Zach the Shipping Ogre is constantly coming up with deals and bargains and cool products for you guys because he likes you.
Yes, I do.
And he is the man, and he takes care of all that stuff. So
He's waiting
And
with
we
bated breath to touch your package.
Yes.
that's right. He cannot wait to touch your package and send it off to you.
And we've got something really special coming out. This is coming out next week, isn't it?
This is coming next week.
This week when you're hearing it recorded.
When you're hearing it recorded, you mean when you
Live, we have not announced it yet. But, yeah.
You know what?
What?
If you're sipping your Java in the morning, you really should be sipping it out of an official Student of the Gun mug.
That's a great point.
You should be. Yes.
Or you can get yourself an official Fighting Solve Everything mug if you really like that. Like
yes.
that one. Yes.
Or the AAFU mugs are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
They're red, white, and blue.
And
And on the back they say, because we don't need your permission.
Yeah. And you know what the coolest one of them all is?
What's that?
The Star Treatments mug. Because it got the Star Treatments logo on it, and all profits from that go to Star Treatments.
That's
Directly
right. Our
into
good
them.
buddy Matt Dorito helping out sick kids with Star Treatments. If you don't know what Star Treatments is, if you haven't been paying attention, check them out at startreatments.org.
Yep.
Honey Badger has no fear and gives no fucase. I did not know that was on the back of the
Is it?
of that cup.
Let me look that up. I forgot that I made these coffee mugs a long time ago, so I forget what they all say.
Yeah. You know what I don't own?
Your face.
No,
What?
I don't own a Team Honey Badger mug.
Do you want me to get you
How
one?
does the host of the show, the author of the book, not have that mug?
Oh yeah, look at that. I made a good design, and I can send. I can order you one.
That's like, I totally Zach, I'll admit I've done that.
Yeah.
There have been times that I've done something and just did it and moved on with my life, and I go back later, I'm like, that was pretty smart of me.
Honey
I did a
Badger.
good job.
The Honey Badger
Yeah.
has no fear and gives no beep.
No fugaze. He gives
No
no
fugaze.
fugaze. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So story number 1. Now remember, the United States Army.
Dad,
What?
jumping the shark a little bit here.
Oh, do we got to do something else?
Yes.
Chainsaw comparison. I'm
Oh,
actually
yeah, that's
super
right.
interested to hear about this because I don't know what you're talking about.
We've got Student of the Gun Homeroom brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters.
Yeah, thank you very much. How could I forget about being dangerous on demand? What is wrong with me? All right. So this week I had an epiphanous moment. Because we still have, especially now, with all these first-time, Johnny-come-lately gun buyers. And you're like, oh, everyone should be a gun owner because if everyone's a gun owner, that means they're all faithful American patriots. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. I don't load it or I don't chamber around. Ladies and gentlemen, a firearm is a dangerous tool. No, it's not. Not if you do it right. If you do it right, it's not dangerous. If it's not dangerous, it's useless. If your gun is not dangerous, it is useless. And there's no point in you having it. Well, what do you mean? All right. How many of you guys own chainsaws? You do. Okay. And when your chainsaw is stored, when it's sitting by itself in a garage on a shelf or whatever, maybe you got one of those plastic slip over covers for the chain, right? A lot of you guys have that. If you're transporting it in and out of a truck, you've got the either the little plastic box or the slip over chain cover or whatever. So it's not turned on. The chainsaw is not turned on. You got that plastic sleeve, over the chain protecting it. And you just handle it like whatever, right? You don't really, when the chainsaw is not turned on and the chain is covered, you're not afraid of it. You don't really treat it with respect. You just like throw it around like it's a prop and just a tool, like picking up a hammer or a screwdriver or whatever. It's not dangerous. No, it's not. But a chainsaw that has the plastic cover over the blade and the chain and that's not running is useless. Oh, no, it's not useless. Yes, it is. It's useless until what? Until you take the sleeve off and you fire it up. Now, when the chainsaw is running, when it's right, and that chain is spinning around at however many RPMs, will you treat that with respect? Or will you just like arbitrarily throw it around? You don't arbitrarily throw around a running chainsaw, do you? You don't just let your arms go limp and let it brush against your leg, do you? Not unless you're a mongoloid. But that is the only time that thing is useful. It is only useful when it's dangerous. If your chainsaw is turned off and has a sleeve and has the cover on it, it's not useful. It's there and you have it and you can say you're a chainsaw owner, but it's not useful. It's only useful when it's dangerous. The same goes with a firearm. If you have a self-defense handgun, if you have a self-defense rifle or a self-defense shotgun, That object is only useful for its intended purpose when it's dangerous. If you're like, oh no, I locked the ammo up in this locker over here, and I locked the gun up in this locker over there, and I only put them together when I know that I'm going to need it. That thing is useless. It is useless as a self-defense tool. You are not dangerous on demand. Well, I don't ever chamber around unless I know I'm going to have to shoot the gun. That gun is useless. So you dig in the comparison there? I hope so. Think about it. A chainsaw is only useful while it's dangerous for its intended purpose. I want to cut up those logs and I'm going to cut down whatever, Yeah, you can do that, but it has to be dangerous in order to be useful. If you want your self-defense handgun or your self-defense rifle or shotgun or whatever, or blunderbuss or whatever you're using there, if you need it to be useful for its intended purpose, stopping bad humans from doing bad things to you, then it's got to be dangerous. And you can't get around it. You can't undangerous the gun and expect it to be useful for its intended purpose at the same time. It doesn't work like that. How do we treat, Jared, how would we treat a running chainsaw?
Like a dangerous tool?
With respect.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You treat a running chainsaw demands respect. You're like, whatever, here. Hey, here, grab this. No, you treat it with respect, right? That's exactly how you treat a loaded gun. You treat it with respect. You don't play with it. It's not a toy. It's not a prop. It's a dangerous tool. And that's okay. It's perfectly okay to have a dangerous tool. You just have to know what you're doing with it and treat it with respect. It's the exact same thing. So if you're going to be dangerous on demand, actually be dangerous on demand. Don't play silly little games, because you're essentially, if you've got an unloaded gun sitting somewhere, that's fine, and you own a gun, but it's not useful as a self-defense tool, and you are not dangerous on demand. So, and if you're not comfortable with that, you better get some training. And I can't. There's no training near me. Okay. Yes, there is. All right. If you go to crossbreedholsters.com, the sponsor of this particular segment, use the promo code SOTG18. You're going to save yourself some money and be a happy camper. Yes, indeed. Would you boys like to add anything to that?
I'm good, thank you.
No? All right.
I thought that I was subconsciously waiting for a video to be played.
Nope. No more videos. All right. So we came to this microphone, and we've been reporting on the social. Essentially, ever since the Clinton administration, the United States government and the Department of Defense has been using the military to conduct their sick, twisted social experiments, and they've done it slowly but surely over a period of about 20 years. But here lately, it's been ramped up. They've been ramping up the vagination in our military. I experienced this when I was a contractor, and I was teaching an expeditionary combat skills. Combat skills? You mean teaching our young kids in the military how to kill the enemy? Yeah, but don't say any swears in front of them, because that's not professional and it could hurt their feelings. Don't raise your voice around them, because that could hurt their feelings. You know what will hurt their feelings? When they go to combat, get captured, get an orange jumpsuit, and then they get to star in their own beheading video. That's going to hurt their feelings. Me saying a swear around them on a range while they're training, or raising my voice. You don't need to raise your voice. It's not professional, and it doesn't help, and it might turn the students off and make them feel bad. Dude, what now? Yeah. So the Army, was it a couple of years ago? It's been a few years, Jared. I think it was Dude, we were in the old studio. We were in the original, or were we? I can't remember.
Finish
When
your
the
statement,
Army
we'll find
announced
out.
that they were going to stop, they were going to cut the grenade training portion out of basic, and they were cutting out land nav because it was just too difficult, and the recruits couldn't get it, and the recruits didn't have the coordination.
2018. This is from the dailymail.uk.co.uk. So we were actually moved by then.
So we were at the Mountaintop Studio in Saratoga. All right. So the Army actually, they did. Well, our recruits they can't throw a grenade because they don't have the dexterity. They don't have the coordination and the body strength to throw a grenade. So what are we going to do? What's the solution? We'll just eliminate it from basic training. They don't need to learn that. See, Army Basic is supposed to be basic infantry training. Did you guys know that? Basic is just a shortening of the basic infantry training. Everybody who goes learns how to be a basic soldier. Rifles, machine guns, bayonets, all that stuff. Land nav. Well, no, land navigate, like compasses and maps. They're it's taken too long and they're not getting it and they don't understand. And so, I mean, everybody has a GPS today. Just cut that out. What? And I'll go back even further. When the United States Army decided to do mixed sex training, where they have male and female drill sergeants yelling at their recruits, when they put female sergeants in charge of male recruit training, why did they do that? Because it's been needed for 200 years, because that was a gap that needed to be filled. That was an error that was 200 years old and they needed to fix it. No, it was part of the 1990s Clinton era politically correct social experimentation that's going on in our military. And I don't give one fat rat's rear end what you think from your chair. If you have not served in the infantry or a combat unit, you don't know what you're talking about. I have. And putting female drill sergeants in charge of male recruits is bull crap. It's politically correct, social justice crap. Put the women in charge of the women and the men in charge of the men. End of story. We don't need mixed sex basic training. You don't need men and women going through basic at the same time.
Wouldn't that be a distraction?
Yeah, it's a tremendous distraction. And it's garbage. So the Army's been doing that for a long time. Then they decided to make boot camp easier because the recruits they don't have the strength or coordination to throw a grenade. Well, you said, okay, well, come on, Paul, lay off the Army. Lay off. They're doing the best they can. Are they really? This is when we go to a story from military.gov, dated 18 September 2020. So it's a pretty new story. And right here, this picture, Jared, you see that picture? That is what's wrong with the Army right now. A drill sergeant watches over basic combat training at Fort Jackson. It's a rear-facing photo, but what is that? It's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, go on. The U.S. Army has replaced the chaotic reception recruits entering basic training have long received from shouting drill sergeants and training event designed to create a bond with their teammates and leaders. Day one of Army basic combat training has always been a rite of passage that involved menacing groups of drill sergeants descending on terrified recruits, yelling commands and ordering trainees to perform push-ups and other exercises with packed duffel bags strapped to their backs. This is a quote from Command Sergeant Major Robert Fortenberry. This is the senior vagina in charge.
He says, commonly referred to as the shark attack, this non-documented period of instruction was developed during our draft Army years.
Really?
Drill sergeants were charged with evaluating trainees' ability to handle stress, singling out the perceived undesirables by enveloping them in a manner that emulated a shark attack. This activity, however, does not instill the spirit of the infantry. It betrays the innate trust between teammates and, worse, betrays the crucial bond of trust with our leaders.
So, all right, let's go ahead and stop right there. So, what this walking vagina, have you? All right, there's a video that I watched. I watched the whole video of this guy, this command sergeant vagina, and he went on. It's sickening. He spouts this namby-pamby, let's all work together. Hey, dude, what is the purpose of the military, of the United States military, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine? What is their purpose in life? Why do they exist? Two things: to break things and kill people. That's it. They're not Meals on Wheels. Okay. Now there are different ways that you break things and kill people. You can break things and kill people with B-52s. You can do it with M16s. You can do it with a 155 howitzer. You can do it with a 1,000-pound JDAM. There's lots of ways to break things and kill people. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can break things and kill people on the ocean, and you can do it in the air, and you can do it in the sandbox or in the mountains. But you have an Army, you have a Navy, and you have a Marine Corps and an Air Force, because at some time in the nation's history, there will be bad people from other countries who say, hey, the United States is a pushover. Let's go over and take their stuff. And then that's when you say, no, you can't take our stuff. And we're going to send our men and women, and we're going to break your stuff and kill your people. And then you will fornicate in a different direction. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter what they're called, whether they're called Nazis or communists or terrorists or whatever. At the end of the day, you have an Army and you have a Navy and an Air Force and a Marine Corps, so that your nation will have the ability on demand, kind of like Dangerous on Demand, to kill people and break stuff. And you need to figure out the most efficient way to kill people and break stuff. And holding hands and singing Kumbaya and spouting off politically correct social justice horse crap is not how you do that. Our Army infantry need to be monsters who are dangerous on demand. Because at some point in time, we're going to send them to places in the world, and we're going to put them in the worst possible position, in the worst places on earth, and they're going to have to deal with it. And how did we figure out how to do that? When I went through Marine Corps basic training, they broke you down. You are nothing. You are a worm. You don't even rate a first name. You start as nothing, and then they build you up step by step by step with a well thought out. And your drill instructors are not supposed to be your bros.
See, I think that's the problem, though, is that people, it seems like the younger generation of people can't start with nothing. They have to start as if they already know everything.
It doesn't matter.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
But the thing is, when you acquiesce to that, you make the problem worse. When you and he said, this was during our what was it? Our draft army, not volunteers. Okay, so they're volunteers today. Great. Then they knew what they were signing up for, so they can shut up and do it. It's not like they're getting beaten. I mean, during Vietnam and the dark days, your drill instructors would punch you. Okay? You would get punched. You would get struck. They administered physical discipline for errors, for grievous errors. So these recruits can't handle being, because they're not, I'm guarantee you, they're not being touched, right? That's been a long time. They cannot touch them, right? And the recruits know it, right? So they can't handle being yelled at. And this shark attack thing is basically the first day. It's not all of basic training. It's essentially the first day. But they can't handle that. Now, if you guys feel like if you've got enough duct tape to wrap around your skull to keep it from exploding, you can go watch the entire video of this walking vagina, this phallus with ears, spout his politically correct, social justice, namby-pamby, freaking empty platitudes crap. This dude goes and he talks about the spirit of the bayonet and how our army is, and our patch has a bayonet, and the spirit of the bayonet is leadership. Hey, Jared, what is the spirit of the bayonet? Do you know what the spirit of the bayonet is?
Nope.
All right. For those of you out there who do not know what the spirit of the bayonet, and let me tell you what, Command Sergeant Major Fortenberry has no idea. The spirit of the bayonet is to kill with cold blue steel. That is the spirit of the bayonet. The spirit of the bayonet is not leadership and camaraderie and team checks. It's not teamwork. The spirit of the bayonet is not teamwork. The spirit of the bayonet is to kill with cold blue steel. Speaking of which, Jared, did you check out the rifleman video yet?
Is that the number 5?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That's the one with the bayonet attack in it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so this is just one more example of the Army being used as this sick, twisted social justice experiment. So moving on. Now, the Navy is over on their side, and they're like, oh, me too. Hashtag me too. Remember when we talked about how New York and California had this rivalry to see who could be the most tyrannical? New York's like, we have more gun laws than you. And California's like, no, you don't. We have more gun laws than you do. And New York's like, watch us. They've had this sick, twisted, tyrannical rivalry. Well, apparently the Navy and the Army have a rivalry now. They've got a hashtag Me Too rivalry to see who can be the most politically correct and wuss-tastic. So we got a brand new story. The first story broke on the 18th, the one about the Army. This one broke on the 28th of September. Sing it, Jared, from AmericanMilitaryNews.com.
Yep. It says Navy SEALs change official ethos to be gender neutral, remove brotherhood, and more. U.S. Navy SEALs and the Naval Special Warfare Combatant Craft crewmen recently changed their ethos and creed statements to reflect a gender-neutral presentation of the elite Navy outfits, doing away with gendered terms like brotherhood. One change to the SEAL ethos was to alter a sentence in the first paragraph of the ethos to say, common citizens with uncommon desire to succeed, instead of the original, a common man with uncommon desire to succeed.
Because that hurts people's feelings, right? Because that was, right now in America, that was the most critical problem that we have facing our military, is the word man in their mission statement.
NSW spokesman, Lieutenant Commander, I think you should change it to spokesperson.
Spokesperson!
Lieutenant Commander Matthew Stroop says...
Lieutenant what?
Commander.
Come what?
What?
Compersoner. Yes, Lieutenant Compersoner Matthew Stroop.
He says, Naval Special Warfare continues to deliberately develop a culture of tactical and ethical excellence that reflects the nation we represent and that draws upon the talents of the all-volunteer force who meet the standards of qualification as a SEAL or SWCC. says the previous versions of the SEAL ethos.
No,
and
what you said the changes you misskipped the thing to the ethos were made to comply in changes in law, opening the potential for women to join military elite units.
Yeah, that wasn't a quote though. That was just a.
That was he said
The
that.
previous versions of the SEAL ethos and SWCC creed were written prior. So this is a quote from him talking about that exact thing. Were written prior to the law allowing women to serve as operators in naval special warfare. The changes do not in any way reflect lowering standards of entry. Rather, they ensure that all those who meet the requirements to train to become a SEAL or SWCC are represented in the ethos or creed they live out. This improves the posture of the NSW force by ensuring we draw from the greatest pool of talent available.
Okay, this is me. I'm sick of your namby-pamby freaking, think speak, news speak. Shut up.
And it says, to date, no women completed the SEAL or SWCC qualification training pipelines. So,
yeah, I like how it says it doesn't lower standards unless you're going to send women through Ranger School. And then we reported on that years ago, how the first woman to finish Ranger School, blah, 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 got like 17 chances to finish because she couldn't be allowed to fail. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want a nation that sends its women to kill. This is a destruction of the nation, and you don't want a community, you don't want a culture, you don't want a society that is sending its women to war to kill. That's not how a fully functional society operates. My wife has a gun, and she has a gun in the house, and she knows how to use it because I'm not always going to be there. But if there's looters coming down the street to attack our neighborhood, I'm not going to stay home and cook pancakes and send my wife out to address the deal because she knows how to shoot a gun. And when you say, oh, no, this doesn't change anything, yes, it does. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bunch of crap. This is garbage. This is the weakening and destruction of your military. And Jared, they're doing the exact same thing with our military that they've done with our police agencies for the last 12 years or so. And what is that?
The lowering the standard.
And they're forcing out whom?
The independent decision makers.
The independent decision makers. The people that can think, that want to think, the hardcore, the dudes that the hardcore self-starters that you want in your military, they get struck end over end over end with this namby-pamby garbage. And they say, you know what? I don't need this. I can go somewhere else and do other things. I don't have to be here. I don't have to put up with this crap. So they leave. And what does that leave behind? The chair-warming, pogue, PC bottom feeders, the pensioners, the people who are going to stick around because they're going to do the least amount of work possible and still get all the goodies that come from working for Uncle Sam. It's happening in our police departments nationwide. The independent self-starters, the guys who can actually think and make decisions on their own, are all quitting. They're like, we don't need this crap. And the people that are there because it's a, quote, good job with good benefits, the people that are there for the benefits, they're just going to stay there. They're like, I don't care. Whatever. If they tell me to go kick in people's doors and take their guns, then I'll just go. That's kick in people's doors and take their guns. If they tell me to arrest people that aren't wearing masks, I'll go up into the stands and I'll arrest people that aren't wearing masks. They tell me to ticket people that are playing in the park, I'll do it because I got a good job with benefits. The same thing's happening in your military, ladies and gentlemen. While you're, not paying attention, your military is being gutted, and it has been gutted for decades. Serious, hardcore NCOs and good officers are fed up with the Mickey Mouse bullcrap, and they're getting out. And something that someone pointed out to me, they said all the Obama appointed admirals and generals are still in. His puppets are still in, and they're making these decisions. Zach, do we have time for this one last story?
We got all the time in the world, man.
Okay. So President Donald Trump saw this story about the Navy's vagination, their hashtag #MeToo campaign, and he commented. What did he comment on, Jared? This
Trump
is from
pledges
Fox
to
News.
overturn Navy SEAL gender neutral ethos, calls it ridiculous.
Thank God we got somebody in the White House that gets it.
You
wanna read the story?
That's just blah, 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 blah. The Navy SEALs and NSW combatant craft crewmen recently altered their ethos. Okay, we just talked about that. And then Trump tweeted, "I will be overturning this ridiculous order immediately." The White House declined to comment. SEAL ethos posted on the U.S. Navy's website currently reflects gender-neutral language. It's currently unclear how quickly a reversal would take effect if Trump opts to follow through on his pledge. And one
What do you mean,
example,
how clear? Immediately. This what are we gonna? We're gonna go to court and sue the president? He's the commander in chief. See, that's something that they forget about. The president of the United States has a lot of hats, and there's a lot of things that they're not allowed by the Constitution to do. But one of the things that they are allowed by the Constitution to do, and one of their jobs, is they are the commander in chief of the United States military. For 4 years or 8 years, they are the boss. And it doesn't matter what a bunch of Obama appointee admirals and Obama appointee generals had to say. At the end of the day, if the commander in chief issues an order, Jared, I'm going to tell you something. When you go into your command, like you go in, your 1st Battalion, 6th Marines, and you go into the command, the headquarters building, there are pictures. And they do this on purpose. Everywhere that our soldiers, sailors, airmen, when I was on a ship in the front lounge, basically the public area, the communal area, we had our command structure and photographs. Why do they do that? Because everyone, whether they're an E1 or an O1 or whatever, they need to know their command structure. These are the people that are in charge of you. And everywhere you went, it started at the president, then it went down to the Secretary of Defense, then the Secretary of the Navy, and then the Commandant of the Marine Corps, and then all the way down to the captain who is in charge of your company or whatever. So at the very top is the president. And when I see this statement, well, it's unclear whether or not how soon it will be implemented. If what? There's no unclear. I mean, unclear. Well, the president said we have to do this, but we don't know if the president has the authority. So we're going to go to the 9th Circuit Court. And ladies and gentlemen, and veterans of America, listen up, veterans. If you're a GWAT veteran, you did 4, 8, 12 years, whatever, you're in Iraq, Afghanistan, sandbox, all that, and you came back and you said, you know what? I served my time. I did my time. Saw ugly, terrible things that I never want to see again. But now I'm going to take my civilian life, get a job, have some kids, and just back away from it. Sorry. I hate to break your heart. Your oath of enlistment. When you took your oath of enlistment, you said, well, my EAS had an expiration date. Yep. Your EAS had an expiration date, but your oath of enlistment did not. And if we're ever going to get this country back on the right track, we're going to need you. You're like, no, dude, I'm out. I did my time, did my 8, did my 4, did my 12, did my 20. I'm out. Nope. We need you. The United States of America needs you, and we need your leadership. We need you to be the cul-de-sac leader. We need you to be the leader in your community. And that's something that I talk about, essentially with the entire Patriot Fire Team program. You have the skills. You have the experience. You have the knowledge to be a leader. Right now, your neighbors, wherever you live, man, let's say you did 8 years in the Army, you did 4 years in the Corps, whatever. You were in Afghanistan, did 2 tours in Iraq or whatever. Your neighbors are looking around frustrated. Your neighbors are scared. Your neighbors are wondering what the future holds. Your neighbors are thinking, I know I should be doing something. The guys that live across the street from you, those guys are thinking, I know I should be doing something. I bought some guns. I bought some food. I bought some MREs. But I really, really, really know in my heart that I should be doing something else. I know I should be doing more. They're thinking that. They need you to step up and help them to do something more. They need you to step up and not subscribe to this wuss-tastic, social justice, politically correct horse crap that is coming out of the Pentagon. Because if you're a combat vet, you know that all this nonsense that coming out of the Pentagon is pogue chair warming bullcrap. Because you've seen the lion and you've been there. And you know that all this, well, we don't say certain words and we don't yell and raise our voices and stuff, means nothing when men are trying to kill you. As a matter of fact, it makes the situation worse. So what I would be humbled by is if you, my veterans, my veteran community, whether you're a GWAT vet, whether you are a Desert Storm vet, if you're an old Cold Warrior, you say, all right, and some of you Cold Warriors, you're like, dude, I've been out for 20 years. What am I going to do? I don't care if you've been out for 20 years. You were there. You took the oath. And you say, wouldn't even know where to start. I wrote a playbook for you. We've got it. All you need to do is implement. I've got the playbook. I'm Vince Lombardi, and I've got the 3-ring binder. All the plays for the 69 Packers, right? All the plays are in the book. I just need you to get that book, open it up, and I need you to work with, like I said, those guys, the guys that you see at the neighborhood barbecues, the guys that you see at your kid's school or your church, who are all kind of like, hey, man, you were in the Army, right? What should we be doing? They pay attention. They watch the news. They see what's going on in America. These guys, at your church and you're having coffee before the service and they come up and they're like, dude, you were in the Marine Corps, right? Yeah, I was. What should we be doing? And it's easy to say, oh, I don't know, man, just buy some guns or whatever. Dude, just buy some guns ain't the answer. And they already did. I mean, I guarantee you they already did. Most of those guys got a black rifle. They went out, shot it once, put it in a closet, and they don't know what to do with it. They need you. There's several ways that you can do it. Either one, just get the Patriot Fire Team book or the equipment guide or get both of them. That's the playbook. Those playbooks are out there. If you want the videos, we've got them. The how-to step by step, the playbook is in the videos. Go to getsotg.com, sign up. Jared made it like ridiculously simple for you to get started. And if you're a vet, whether you're a GWAT vet, whether you're a Cold War vet, Desert Storm vet, whatever, if you are a hard charging Quezon, Way City vet, if you survive the Battle of Quezon or Way City, you probably walk with a cane, but I guarantee you that you can provide some leadership to these guys in your community. At very least, you can tell them what to expect. Now is not the time to sit back and think, well, the country will fix itself. If I just stay out of the way and do my thing, eventually the country will fix itself. It's not going to happen. We need you. And like I said, like Vince Lombardi with the 3-ring binder, we have the playbook for you. All it takes is for you to get your hands on it and start implementing it. So that's it, man. It's there. All this stuff it's available. You do not have to. That's the great thing about being a veteran is when the Army and the Navy and the Department of Defense do a bunch of super wuss-tastic, politically correct garbage, you can just laugh at them and say, that's nice. I don't have to play by your stupid rules anymore. I already did it. I got my t-shirt. I got my t-shirt, and you can take your PC crap and shove it up your butt, Admiral, because I don't have to listen to you anymore. And that's the kind of Americans we need. That's the kind of Americans we need. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will be back with a grad program bonus hour, numero uno. And all you new freaks, do we have any Q's and A's that need to be addressed right now?
We have two, actually.
All right. Q me and A me.
All right. So the first one is, this is from Rebecca Ramsey. She says, what are the top 3 things to prioritize budgeting right now? Most are on a tight budget. Most people are on a tight budget.
Prioritize purchasing right now.
Prioritize purchasing right now. Most are on a tight budget. Okay. Yeah. Number one, I said this on Labor Day. Use the entire month of September to make sure you have 6 months worth of food in your house. And you say, well, MREs are expensive and Wise Foods is expensive or whatever. Buy bulk food. Get rice, get grain, get sugar, get beans, get whatever. You can buy a lot of that stuff for not that much money, especially compared to MREs. MREs is the most expensive thing you're going to get. They're good because they last a long time. They got all nutrients, but they're pricey. So you got to learn to balance. I'm not going to even say buy guns and ammo because, quite frankly, right now, if you're on a tight budget and you want to buy guns and ammo, you're playing the wrong game.
Yep.
Hopefully, you've got something now. Hopefully, you got something to trade. Hopefully, you got something good to trade. Maybe you were one of those guys that during the Obama years bought a bunch of gold coins. And your buddy's got an AR-15. You're going to trade him gold coins for an AR-15 or Bitcoin or something. I don't know. So, yeah, that's what you should have. You need to be prepared to not go out in public. Really? You mean like the Corona? No. I mean, don't go to Walmart because there's going to be a riot there. I mean, that's what I mean. What happens when you're driving to Walmart and you stop at the stoplight and people walk up and throw bricks through your windows? That kind of stuff. If that's going on in your city, stay home. But you need to be able to stay home without eating the cat. You don't want to be.
Seeds are relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, seeds.
But you have to put the time in. So you get the seeds and then you obviously have to grow them. You can't just throw topsoil over grass and then try to grow some
sure
food.
You can. Look at the Victory Garden they did in Seattle, man. That was great. It was awesome. But it was, what did they put signs up there like indigenous people and minorities only or something? It was some weird, yeah. But anyway, 3 things you should be buying. Yeah, you should have 6 months worth of food in your house at minimum. You should have the ability to survive extended power outages, whether that's through kerosene heaters, backup generators, lights, candles, wood. If you live in the north or the west where you actually are going to have snow and cold, you need to have backup heating systems just in case. If you got gas, you're probably good to go. But if you rely on electric for heat, you've got to have a backup for that. So, yeah. The next one, when training with lasers.
When training with laser sights, newer shooters specifically, would there be a significant risk of learning to shoot only when you find the dot?
No. Are you saying it might not appear?
Maybe not aligning the sights.
Okay. Well, here's the thing: the whether it's a laser or whether it's a night vision nuclear front sight or a red dot or an ACOG or whatever, the sights and lasers and whatever, they don't pull the trigger. The shooter pulls the trigger. So the most important thing for a new shooter is to teach them how to manipulate the trigger so that it doesn't look like their gun is having a seizure. And that's part of the problem with people who just grab oh, I bought a gun with a laser sight on it, so I can't miss. Yes, you can, because every time you pull the trigger, it looks like you're having a seizure. The most important thing for new shooters is to learn to control the trigger press. And then once they learn to control the trigger press, if they've got a laser or a tritium front sight or an ACOG or an aim point or whatever, then the rest is just gravy. So for a new shooter, if you're a really good shooter and you have a gun with a laser on it, you can do demonstrations and show them this is how it works and so forth. That's great. The problem with new shooters is they try and buy stuff to purchase their way around skill and training. They're like, well, if I buy a laser gun, I don't need to go to the range and practice because I have a laser gun. Okay, Sparky. And you can't miss with a shotgun either. That is the biggest problem with new shooters is they always try to buy their way. They try to purchase their way around skill and dedicated training. And you can't do it. So whether it's a laser or a red dot or whatever. So there you go. All right. That's it for today. Is it not? Tomorrow we'll be back with a bonus hour part 1 of Student of the Gun Radio. If you're a grad program member, we will talk to you. If you're not, this is when you go to getsotg.com, sign up, become a grad program member, and then you will be here Thursday too, because you know you want to.
Yep.
And what else are you doing with your time?
The one thing, if you do only one thing, then go join our Discord server. It is free to join. It's studentofthegun.com/Discord. I just dropped links in the live videos on Facebook and YouTube. Join that server. There's a great community of people in there, and you get to interact with both the public and our grad program members. Now, there are things that are hidden in that server that are only accessible to grad program members, but there's plenty of stuff in there that you can get to just as a free member. So, and it's community ran. We don't really do much in there as far as moderation. It's completely ran by Ryan Barker. Does most of the moderating and bot creation and all of that stuff, and so we really appreciate him. But it's a community ran thing. It's ran by you guys in the community, so join it and actually contribute, and then run it, make it the community you want it to be.
Wow. All right. That was my alarm going off to tell me that you need to stop talking on the radio and go let your dog out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you're a beginner once,
a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.